What's up? And we're back. Don't mind the background because your girl just decided that she wanted to rearrange the whole entire living room, and right now, like, there's shit everywhere. And some things happened in the process, and we're gonna catch up because it's been a minute since your girl uploaded a vlog, but we're gonna get to it. But this video today is about food stamps. Food stamps, WIC, Section 8, ktap, all that bullshit shit. So I'm just tell you a little bit of background. Because you know how we always do, we jump right into the video. So, your girl had a job. Well, she still has a job. Your girl has a job, and she went out and got her another job because, you know, bills do. And, my cousin was like, girl, get on ktap. ktap, they'll give you money every month. You know, you'll get it for diapers, you'll get it for transportation, all that shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. Can't be that hard. Can't be that hard. It was bullshit going through the process. That's how I know, like, I'm not going to be on this for long. So, after all the papers and going back and forth and all that other stuff, boom, got my first ktap payment. And meantime, they were like, do you want to put the father on child support? And this time, me and Michael wasn't together, really. Yeah, I don't think we were together. And I was like, I mean, I guess so. I don't know how this works. So, but Michael was never the type of man to be like, if you need something, I'm not giving it to you. He always gave it to me. See what I'm saying? Especially about his kids' girlfriend. So my baby's over here crying, trying to talk to me and all this other stuff. So, fast forward. I get a second job. And, they called when. Like, I hadn't even told them that I got a second job yet. It was like the first 3 days. And I'm like back and forth trying to do my thing. And they're like, yeah, we know you got a second job. Woo. They were like, it doesn't disqualify you for like food stamps or anything. We're just going to put it on here. Then they sent me a letter in the mail that was like, basically, I don't qualify for ktap. Which it had me kind of confused because I thought ktap was child support. So I don't know. Maybe I had got something like confused in the process, or maybe I didn't understand something correctly. But needless to say, I didn't qualify for ktap anymore, so I'm not getting the extra help. So now all I have is SNAP. So hold on, y'all. Oh God. Okay. Girlfriend. Hey. So, they were like, yeah, you don't qualify for ktap anymore. I mean, yeah, ktap anymore. And, so, yeah, you don't qualify for ktap anymore and X, Y, Z. So, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I was, like, manifesting that I get off of it because it was draining anyway. I would have to, every month, I would have to, like, there's this paper that they give you for, like, your community service. So, if you didn't have a job, you would have to do community service to get that extra, like, $200 or $300. Or if you did have a job, that would count as your community service because you're working. So that was draining. And not only that, by this point, I moved across town. So having to catch a lift across town and back, that's like damn near $30, which I could be saving. So I was like, okay, cool. Fuck it. Fuck them. They can have that. And then I knew it's getting wild because I don't know if, like I said, I'm manifesting a lot of shit this year or what. So I get a paper in the mail and they were like, basically, you're selling your food stamps. And I'm like, what? So, needless to say, I don't know if it's like this in any other state or if this, if it's like this only in Kentucky. But there are a couple things that will flag your card, as in flag it as in you're selling your stamps. So if you say you're going to the store and say you're checking out and say you got a lot of stuff and say you got somebody with you, say if you go through the U-scan and the other person goes to like an actual cash register, that will flag it. Or if you forget something and go back and you go through another register or another U-scan, that will flag it. Say if you break up your grocery list in increments like I do sometimes, let's say if I pay $300 for one and like $200 for the next, that will flag it. And I'm just like, well, all of a sudden, why are you all saying this? As long as I've been on food stamps, why are you just now saying this? And all the recordings of that they do over the phone, for you to agree and all that shit, they never once said anything about that. So I was telling my husband about it, and he was like, it's not necessarily you, it's just what it is. He think it is that there are people out there that are getting this large lump sum amount every month and they're not doing well with it, versus you, we have 6 kids and they think that, you're doing something with your stamps and all this other stuff, and that's what that is. So during this process, I have the little court hearing. It's over the phone, and I'm telling them everything, what's going on, X, Y, and Z. Then I'm like, I get WIC too. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I get WIC. And she was like, well, tell me about the process of that. So I had to tell her, because I don't know if she knows or does know, but I don't know if it's like this anywhere else, but I know here in Kentucky, basically, let's say if you got a certain amount on your food stamp card, and then oh hell no. So the message came up. So basically, if you have a full like you have a certain amount on your food stamp card, what they'll have you do is, if you're paying WIC as well, is that they'll have you go ahead and swipe your WIC card, and then it'll take off whatever WIC items and then swipe your food stamp card. So just in case, let's say you got WIC items on there and you swipe your food stamp card first, it's going to decline it because there's not enough funds on the food stamp card. And I had told her as well also, because they just want to know your arm, your leg, your birthday, your blood type, your firstborn, is he left-handed, right-handed, boy, girl, female, what's the blood type, and all that other stuff. And I had to let her know as well that also my WIC card is completely, it has a different pin than my food stamp card. So girlfriend, so I mean I'm sorry, but that's how I do my my shopping. So needless to say, that came back, and you playing with me. That came back, and they found me not guilty. And I'm just over it. It's very tiring. And everybody's like, girl, you gonna give up them $5,500 in food stamps? No, it's not like that. Like, they want to know everything just for you to get a little bit of something. And not only that, I have 6 children. That's my decision to have 6 children. But then also, even with food stamps, prices is going up tremendously. And my children under 6, these kids are eating. And I'm not talking about like junk food or like whatever. They're actually eating a lot. They're growing. So just to have to buy double or something, or bulk of something that used to be, let's say, $10 is probably now $15 or $22 or whatever the case may be. So, yeah. And then, also, what was it? Section 8. So when we moved into this place, I got a letter in the mail from Section 8, like a month I think it was like a month after we had moved in. And they were like, congratulations, you moved up on the list. You know, are you still interested in this apartment? Well, by this point, we've already moved. You're all a month behind. And I had called the lady and I was like, hey, you know, is there any way that they will have like a 4-bedroom? She told me no and asked me what was going on. So I told her, you know, Kaiser, by this point I hadn't had Chandler yet. But Kaiser had just turned 1, I believe, or a little bit after that. Yeah, Kaiser had just turned 1. And so she was like, oh no, well, you don't qualify for the place now because Kaiser had turned 1. She said, so I'm gonna have to call you back. Well, trickle down, what do you think? She never did call me back, and I ended up calling her back and left several messages, and she, you know how they go. And so she was like, because Kaiser had already turned 1, so now he wouldn't need to be in a room with the other kids. So therefore, that will kick me off the list. So I'm like, well, instead of like taking me off the list, is there any way you can just place me on another list? So let's say within a year time, it'll be perfect because I can move again and we'll be in a 3-4 bedroom. I need a 4 or 5 bedroom. But by this point, I don't need an apartment. I need like a house. No. She told me I will have to go back on the list, and who knows when that will open back up. I swear, just trying to get a little bit of help to get ahead is like bullshit, and you have to go through all these hoops. You have to go through all these goddamn obstacles. You got to go through every single door and all this other stuff just to get a little bit of help. And especially how prices is going up nowadays, and you got things, inflation, and who knows what the next move is, especially in America. Nobody ever knows. So by this point, I'm just like, fuck it. Go ahead. I do the shit my damn self. Because by this point, I had already been paying. High rent, what we call it. You know, you're a tired girl. Damn. I had already been paying high rent. That's nothing new. You know, that's nothing new. And just to get a little bit of help is some BS. Because my cousin was the one that, you know, sent me the link and everything. She was like, girl, sign up. Woo-woo. She actually ended up getting the place. But she already had a place. And, you know, just sign up. And you know how that goes. Sign up and they'll call you. But in the meantime, I was calling. Because we needed to move. Because our lease was up. I was calling. No, nothing. I know, girlfriend. And, I was calling, you know, what's the status of my place, X, Y, Z. Oh, you know, we're just waiting, the waiting game. My thing is this. Somebody that's paying $30 in fucking rent, who is going to move? Especially during the pandemic, which I don't know how, but we were able to pay our rent. During the pandemic, who the fuck is going to move? Paying $30 in rent? No one. You would have to be a fool to get evicted. So, not only that, you got rent. And then, I be damn if I think about how I'm going to feed my children. It's either rent or, you know, be homeless. So, what does the world want us to do? What is that one want us to do, baby girl? Huh, Chandler? Yeah. Dicky butt. So, yeah. And then a lot of people are like, oh, girl, you get food stamps, you know, ooh, you, like I said, you must get buku. No. You know, and like I said, I'm manifesting a lot to get off this shit because it's definitely not worth it. You know, if I need it, I know that it's there, but it's definitely not worth it. The hoops and stuff I have to go through, like I said, just to get help or whatever the case may be, because like I said, they want you to do this, do that, X, Y, Z, jump through this hoop, go through this building, make a left, turn right, go upstairs, go down the stairs, go down the slide, cross the monkey bars, swim across the lake. No, I'm not doing all that. Just to get help. I'd rather than very much do this shit my damn self. You see what I'm saying? I say that to say, If you need it, it's always there. Get off that shit though, because I feel like now they're tracking you, because they have your kids' information, they have your kids' social security, they have your information, what you do, how you do it, how you bend over backwards, what arm you write with. I want all of that, and it's not worth it, especially if you're trying to level up. And I feel like it's meant to keep you down if you get that mentality. But no. And not only that, once I got that second job, once I seen that, I'm like, now I know it's not what I thought it was. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes I misunderstand things. I want to say it that way. But I definitely misunderstood the whole concept, because I thought that ktap was supposed to be, to help you. And not only that, I went through something where I had to go through the court to get a DNA test or whatever, because I guess they wanted to make sure who the father was and all this other stuff. And they were like, well, you want to put him on child support. And I said, and my understanding was, when I signed up for ktap, I thought that's what that was. So I guess technically, yes, I did put him on child support. So now that I don't qualify for ktap, they ended up taking my husband's taxes, which, from my understanding, I'm gonna say it's like what he owes. So whatever ktap gave me, he's just paying them back. So that's a whole nother process, because now that we're married, I don't need to get any type of child support, because he's doing, before that he was doing what he was doing. But when we broke up, I needed the extra help, and that's a whole nother story. But all right now. But yeah. So yeah, I know this video is like 17 minutes or something like that. Say thank you for watching, guys. So yeah, get off all that shit, girl, because you can do it. You can do it. Fuck them. Fuck that. Fuck that. Because they just want they just want to be all up in your business. They want to know everything. Kaiser Grayson, your head's a mess. Go upstairs and go get a pull-up. Girl, trying to potty train and just had one. But yeah, get off all of that shit. If you need it, it's there. But then also, don't have a mentality of, I got this, I got that, and I'm gonna stay on it and all this. Fuck that. Fuck that. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it. Especially if you're trying to level up, get you a bigger crib, get you a fancy ass car, get you that Persian rug in your room, all that shit. Fuck that shit. You can do it. Just like I can do it. Peace out. Love you. See you next vloggy vlog.